Now, in the heart of the Blue Mountains, a small town is waging war with a major bank. Their last brick-and-mortar branch set to shut. It's a scene that's playing out right across the country.
In the historic town of Katoomba in New South Wales, locals are angry.
ANZ breaks the rules! ANZ breaks the rules!
But their protests have been in vain. ANZ Bank set to shut down its only branch in town tomorrow.
Really disappointed, and I'm not the only one.
A lot of people have been angry about what's happened.
I need to have a face-to-face service.
When a branch closes in a regional area, we see enormous impact, especially elderly people. It puts them at enormous risk of scams. We also see big impact on small and medium businesses.
Katoomba customers have accused the bank of breaking a promise. In June, the Federal Treasurer approved ANZ's $4.9 billion takeover of Suncorp Bank. But the deal came with a condition.
We agreed with the Federal Treasurer that we will not close any regional branches for a period of 3 years.
ANZ says it stayed true to its word, claiming that although Katoomba is in the heart of the Blue Mountains, a 1.5-hour drive from Sydney and eligible for regional working visas, it's technically not regional. And the Katoomba is classified by the Australian Bureau of Statistics as a major city location.
The ANZ Bank don't know what they're talking about.
I think that's a very, very far stretch of imagination.
For ANZ customers in Katoomba, their nearest branch now nearly 50 kilometres away.
The travel to go to another ANZ Bank is just way too far from here.
While the rate of regional and remote bank closures across the country is slowing, between 2017 and 2024, 847 have shut up shop.
More and more people aren't using branches of any description because they don't need to and they don't actually want to.
ANZ pointing out that transactions at their branches have halved, just 1% now done over the counter.
Banks have forced us to do that by closing bank branches, by removing staff in contact centres that have blown out the wait times. Banks have really left us no option but to do our banking online.
So as the lights go off inside another brick-and-mortar bank, are regional communities being dudded?
We are all forced to deal with the banking sector, and for us that means that the banking sector needs to meet our needs, not the other way around.
Well, local Kim Grace has banked with ANZ for more than 4 decades and has been leading the charge to save his brick-and-mortar branch. Kim, you've managed to get more than 15,000 signatures on an online petition. What do you think the bank means to the community?
It's, what the bank means to the community. It's more the other way, actually, what the community means to the bank. That's the big question, isn't it? You know, I mean, the ANZ Bank is basically just showing complete disregard and disrespect for the Blue Mountains community. We've got 80,000 people living through the Blue Mountains, and they were the only ANZ branch in a stretch of country, 120 kilometres wide. So, that's the question you've got to ask.
So what do you say to this argument that Katoomba is a major city location because that's how the Australian Bureau of Statistics classifies it?
Mate, have a look behind me. A major city, a major bloody city, come on. Like, yeah, I've got to drive, I'm in Mount Victoria, which is the highest part of the Blue Mountains. I've got to drive 25 kilometres to this branch, which is now closed. The nearest branch I've now got is Bathurst, which is just over an hour to the west. Or I've got to drive right across the Blue Mountains to the Riff or Penrith, taking my life in my hands, going down there. I don't like the flat land in the first place. But, you know, like, that's a bloody hour and a bit. Central is over 2 hours on a train. Come on. The Suncorp deal included a proviso from the Treasurer, what's his name? Jim Charming, I call him. Jim Chalmers, by the way, who could actually stop the closure tomorrow if he wanted to. Part of that takeover was that they wouldn't close regional branches, any regional branch, for 3 years. And so what they've done is they've massaged the truth, the ANZ branch or the bank, and said, no, it's not regional. And I don't give a toss what the Department of Statistics says or whatever. Everyone knows this is regional, mate.
Hello to all our viewers in Penrith, by the way.
hopefully Jim Chalmers has now heard your plight about going to Penrith and he shuts this whole thing down.
No, mate, I love the Riff. I love the Riff. I just use a bulletproof bulletproof vest when I go down
Yeah,
there.
right.
There's a good El Jana in Penrith. It's a great place. Great place. Now, Kim, the banks are saying transactions are down. So can you understand that they kind of have to respond to changing behaviour?
What about all the people who are disabled? What about the elderly people? People can't afford the internet. People can't afford a laptop. Older people don't even know how to use them. I mean, I'm 68 and I'm struggling. I struggle to use my bloody phone. That's a load of rubbish. We still need face-to-face representatives of the bank. It costs them probably 10 minutes of the CEO's wages to keep this place open for the year, for 4 hours a day. What happened to loyalty? And what happened to the great Australian tradition of looking after your mates and standing by people in a crisis? We've got a cost of living crisis here, and they're bailing like rats from a sinking ship. That's what it feels like.
Kim, I understand that at least for the moment there are other banks with branches there. What do you reckon you'll do? Are you prepared, or will you take your money out of ANZ and go to another bank?
Bloody oath I will, mate. You've got to be kidding me. And I can tell you now, 15,247 people that signed the petition, a lot of them have said the same to me. So they'll go to, I don't know, the Bendigo Bank or one of those people. I know they're owned by one of the big four as well, but at least they stick around.
Bendigo Bank, regional bank. Who would have thought? Kim, we'll see what transpires on that. Thank you very much for your time. It's been good to speak.
No, thanks for the project, and you're the best looking crew on television.
Oh, yes.
Hey, holy.
Can we get him back? Where did he go?
He got my headshots. I sent him in the mail.
Oh, clearly. Well, for ANZ's full statement, please head to our website.